Okay, so this is the video about fixing broken transformer legs. This is a Hasbro Optimus Prime, I believe. I got it in Japan. And the bolt, which it holds the leg together, it uses the standard plastic toy transformer bullet, I guess you might call it. There we go, you can see it. And you can see the opposite leg, so Optimus's left leg. See a couple of pins in there. It was the upper one here, which is actually the pivot to this joint here that makes him transform. My son broke him off, and so I had to get my drill, number 5 bit, and I drilled through both sections of the plastic here. So from here and then through to there. Remember, these parts were separate at one point. And I then took a Craft-Rite multi-tool, which I'd used for some other thing beforehand, and I took this sheathed nut. It's like a nut that has a set distance with a bolt, and it's sheathed, so it's completely covered. So I took that, and it happened to be exactly the right dimensions. How's that for lucky? So it's like a 5mm shaft under those nuts there, and the plates on the top are probably something like 7 or 8mm, so they're nice and wide to hold the pressure of Optimus's transforming leg. And so I drilled them out and I put the bolt in. Now it was really difficult, like I'm talking 10 to 15 minutes of difficult, and also cutting away at this with my knife to get in there and try and get the bolt to sit in properly, but it was possible. I think for some other areas where things might be a little more clean cut, it might be a bit easier, like up here on his arm, might be easier to fix that sort of thing. So I just used a couple of T-bits. I think this is, dang, what's that say, T8 and T9. See that T-ness there, awesome T-ness. T8, T9, I used those to hold the bolt in place, and I used one of the sides to screw it while the other one's holding in place. So it is possible to fix, but it is incredibly tedious. Now how you get the, when you break it, the bolt will be left inside, and I watched a video on YouTube by this guy. It's pretty good, and he talks about how you get it out. Basically, if you're old enough, so if you're over 16 and have experience, someone's taught you already on how to use a soldering iron, you heat your soldering iron up. I usually wait about a minute for mine to get going because it's a gas one, and then you just touch only on that top of that head and you hold it there for about 30 seconds to a minute. And then I got on the other side with this machine with one of those T-bits and just knocked the bolt out. So that's how I was able to get it out by causing the least amount of damage as possible. Just remember, if you have to be old enough to use these things, because they really are a fire risk and you can hurt yourself because they're extremely hot. And also, don't do what I did. Don't drill your hand. Whoops, where is it? Somewhere there. There. Ouch. Anyway, hopefully this is helpful to someone else.